This is News 8 Now, This Morning.
And the fact that the leaders will not answer phone calls is a big problem, you know. And they don't post information. We don't have a Facebook page. There's just no way of knowing what's going on.
We felt that was a really important balance where they had the hands-on technical experience. They're getting to know the clinical environment, they're feeling more comfortable, but also they're learning the theory, they're learning the more coursework side of things.
When you combined Ron's bequest with the gifts that he gave during his lifetime, we will receive, and the whole community will receive actually, almost $4 million as a result of Ron and Valerie's generosity.
Good morning, everyone. That was your morning eye-opener. I'm Sophia Pullman.
And I'm Derek Sibley.
It is March 29th, almost April. March flew by.
It really did. And we're already halfway through the week, too. Isn't that crazy?
I know.
We're already Wednesday.
We're almost to Friday.
Yep. Just like last week. It's just going on.
Are you working this weekend?
I'm not. I'm actually going to our Eric Dean's wedding on Saturday.
Oh, that's right.
So he's getting married. It's an exciting time for him. So that should be a lot of fun. But our
hopefully
weather,
it's good weather.
Yeah, that was going to say, you know, something that we'll be watching closely here, especially for Friday. Luckily, Saturday I don't think will be as bad, but Friday we may be having to deal with some rough weather around here, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But I do want to talk about what's happening now, because you probably noticed that, hey, you know, it's a little cool and chilly out there at the same time, and you may even wake up to brushing off a little bit of snow on some of your windshield wipers or your front windshield there, and that's because we did see some light snow move through overnight into La Crosse County, especially, and down towards our southern communities. That snow has since cleared out. Now, in the wake of that front that brought us snow, it's very chilly outside. We're seeing current wind chill factors into the teens and single digits here mainly. Current air temperatures are into the teens and 20s for the most part. The only exception is Bosquebel right now. You're currently at 31 degrees, one of the warmer spots that I can find there on the map. Today's planner features a lot of sunshine, very similar to yesterday. The only difference is it's going to be much colder, though, today. Our high temperatures only into the mid-30s around 5 o'clock this afternoon, forecasting a high of about 36 degrees or so here today in La Crosse. So we'll talk about your full weather forecast. I'll let you know how the rest of the week could be shaping out. We'll talk about some of those storm chances later this week as well. Sophia?
Thanks, Derek. Let's get to some news this morning. Wisconsin's healthcare workforce is falling behind. That's according to a report from the Wisconsin Hospital Association. News 8 Now's Emily Hagen explains what healthcare is up against.
Across the country,
the workforce in healthcare has completely changed.
Healthcare workers like Christina Flistrom are feeling the strain.
We have a lot more job openings than we do have applicants for those jobs.
A report from the Wisconsin Hospital Association is highlighting that struggle, but it's also spotlighting healthcare systems trying to make a change.
We've really been focused on the voice of our frontline workers. What are they experiencing? What challenges do they have? What do they want to see done differently?
At Gunderson Health System, recruiters say they're shifting how they do healthcare from the start.
It's a benefit to have them at the patient side right away.
One thing they're doing now is paying students to learn on the job.
They're getting to know the clinical environment, they're feeling more comfortable, but also they're learning the theory, they're learning the more coursework side of things.
And then we do blood pressure a lot with the patients.
Ashley Wittig is in the program right now. She's a medical assistant trainee.
I will, at the end of this, have my medical assistant certification.
People like Wittig are taking a chance on a new career quicker.
Getting all of this valuable knowledge at no cost. Gunderson is supporting that for me to work here for them.
And in a strained workforce, the system is bringing in people who care.
So I feel like that was a contributing factor. It was because I wanted to help. Like, that's why a lot of people are in healthcare, is because they want to help those patients.
The medical assistant trainee program has been in place for about a year. Doring says there have been about 55 people who have gone through that program since it started up. Gunderson offers other training programs in different paths of healthcare. We have a link on news8000.com. A health clinic is reopening its doors in Norwalk. Scenic Bluffs Community Health Center is now taking patients in newly renovated rooms with new equipment. Scenic Bluffs used roughly $600,000 in ARPA funds to renovate. The center's leaders say the update was much needed. The CEO says staying up to date is important to help them care for a small community where getting health care can be challenging.
Our job is to make sure that we're reducing health disparities in all communities. Scenic Bluffs is charged with making sure that we create access for folks that may have transportation challenges, may have income challenges. We serve all patients regardless of their ability to pay.
Scenic Bluffs will be able to help reduce the gap with a new food pantry. They're partnering up with Coulee Cap to open that pantry in the coming months. Community members in Homer, Minnesota gathered to collect signatures for a petition. They want to stop the town board from getting rid of a long-standing building. News 8 Now's Dua Israr was in Homer and spoke to residents who say they don't want the building to go.
For over 100 years, this building has served the town of Homer. It's been a schoolhouse and a town hall, but now its future is up in the air.
You went to school here with my sister Holly, didn't you?
Memories become alive in conversations.
I attended the school behind us, or the town hall now, but the school 1 through 6th grades.
Reminders of the past can bring a community together.
We used to play outside on the playground till the teacher rang that big bell, and we all lined up on the steps and went in one by one.
For residents of Homer, Minnesota, the old one-room schoolhouse is a fond reminder of their childhood.
It comes back to me all the time of what a wonderful place it was.
Over the years, the schoolhouse became the town hall.
There is so little communication from our leaders to the people.
Now it may become nothing.
People care. And you know, once it's gone, it's gone.
In 2021, the Homer Township Board applied for and received roughly $145,000 in American Rescue Plan Act funds. The money would be used for a new town hall building, replacing the current one.
Leaders are supposed to be, they govern based on consent of the people, and that hasn't been happening.
Community members say they had no idea about the decision.
It needed to be put out there for all of us, and we would have been here and we would have motioned to never let this happen.
In a statement, the town board says this has been an ongoing discussion at monthly board meetings for 14 months, meetings that no resident came to.
We have a petition. Did you see it?
Community members say reminders are posted on the town hall's board, but they want ones that are virtually accessible.
They don't post information. We don't have a Facebook page. There's just no way of knowing what's going on.
In the meantime, they're hoping to preserve a piece of history.
Because I used to go to school here.
One signature at a time. Reporting in Homer, Dua Israr, News 8 Now.
No, it was 90.
Residents have until April 14th to come up with a plan to move the old town hall to another location. The Homer Town Board says creating a Facebook page is on next month's meeting agenda. A former UWL professor is leaving a huge impact on lacrosse artists, even after his passing. Ronald Berman was a regular donor to the Lacrosse Community Foundation before he died in January. He left the organization a gift of $3.2 million to fund art scholarships for area students. His efforts advance education while he was alive, and his legacy will be even more valuable than $3.2 million.
When you combined Ron's bequest with the gifts that he gave during his lifetime, we will receive, and the whole community will receive actually, almost $4 million as a result of Ron and Valerie's generosity.
Berman's donation will go to 4 funds, one of which will support the Coulee Region Alliance for the Visual Arts. That organization's president says the donation will impact the La Crosse area for a lifetime.
It's going to be a boon to young artists in La Crosse, the region, for years and years to come, time immemorial.
Altogether, the 4 funds will distribute over $180,000 each year. Tomah Health and Versiti Blood Center needs your help. Recent weather conditions have been a barrier to blood supply, forcing Versiti to cancel blood drives and cancel donors' appointments. To meet the need, they are hosting a 2-day blood drive Thursday and today. To donate, you need to be at least 17 years old, have a photo ID, weigh over 110 pounds, and be in good health. 16-year-olds can donate with a parent's permission. If you'd like to donate, we have that on news8000.com. Still ahead on your morning news, the FDA plans to stabilize baby formula after multiple production shutdowns. And details on a glitch discovered in the security software update Kia rolled out to target the spike in thefts. That and more coming up this morning. For now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. It's World Piano Day. It's held on the 88th day of the year because most pianos have 88 keys. The day began in 2015 to promote the development of music and to share the joy of playing the piano. A couple of fun facts about the piano: it was invented in the 1700s, and if you really have an eye for music, experts say you can teach yourself how to play the piano. Don't go anywhere. Your consumer news at News 8 Now this morning after the break.
Well, the clouds are beginning to clear out now here across the Coulee region, and you can see a lot of them here mainly focused to the south, but we did have a little bit of some light snow that passed through overnight, and it also moved its way down to the south here as well. Now, in the wake of that front that brought us the snow, it's very chilly. In fact, it feels like it's into the single digits across most of the area this morning. For your dog walking conditions, bundle up out there, but mostly sunny can be said by the morning. Afternoon, lots of sunshine this evening, also looking mainly clear as well. Your zone forecast today, you'll notice it's going to be not only chilly, but also colder. For our temperatures, going to be into the mid-30s here today. West Salem at 35, Berry Mills high of 36 here today for you, 33 in Lynxville today, Hillsborough at 34 towards the east, and also up towards our central zones. We're looking at 34 in Arcadia, 35 in Trempealeau, 31 in Osseo. Highs will reach the upper 20s to low 30s along the Chippewa Valley, with only 30 today in Eau Claire. Schoolcast this morning, mostly clear skies, temperatures at 24 degrees. As we head into the afternoon hours here today, it will turn completely sunny. Again, very similar to yesterday, but our temperatures, you're going to need a jacket here on the way back from school because we are thinking that our temperatures will be right around that 32-degree mark here this afternoon. We'll talk more about this. I'll time out those wind chills. I'll give you a sneak peek of what's to come here later this week in the full weather forecast, but also we'll have more in just a little bit.
In your consumer news this morning, Carnival Cruise appears to be added for brighter days. The cruise line reported bookings for future cruises in 2023 reached its highest volumes in its history. In fact, the company reported Monday future bookings broke records for its North America, Australia, and Europe segments. Despite higher ticket prices in 2023, Carnival says it expects the growth to continue. The FDA says they have a plan in place to make sure the supply of baby formula doesn't change. The agency shared key steps they say will increase the stability of the infant formula market. It includes making sure the industry can identify risks to the supply chain and develop plans to lessen the harshness of disruptions. It will also expand and improve training for investigators who inspect manufacturers. Buy now, pay later. That's now an option for people using Apple's digital wallet. The new feature launched Tuesday. It's called Apple Pay Later. Customers can now split payments for purchases into 4 installments over 6 weeks. Apple users can also apply for a loan within the wallet app, ranging from $50 to $1,000 with no interest or fees. Apple's move comes as consumers have turned to buy now, pay later services like Affirm and Klarna and Afterpay. Kia has hit a bump in the road when it comes to its plan to deal with the spike in thefts of its vehicles. They say a glitch in the latest security software update is impacting some of the drivers at risk of having their cars stolen.
This was supposed to be a fix. The Kia software update we first showed you on 2 being rolled out at Kia dealerships across Illinois, requiring the key to be in the ignition in order to turn the car on. It's meant for the millions of cars on the road missing an anti-theft device, no engine immobilizer. What's led to a spike in thefts, criminals specifically targeting cars like these. But it turns out the update doesn't work for everyone eligible for it. Brandon Baker found out the hard way and reached out to me.
So my options were to get the update and not have remote start, or have remote start and not get the update.
But he didn't know those options until going to the dealership for the software update appointment he said he waited a month for. The service worker telling him,
if we do the software update to these cars, somebody uses their electric start, the alarm will start going off and it won't shut off.
He says he had a loaner Kia stolen from in front of his house last year. The steering column destroyed, like the cars we've shown you for months. He doesn't want his car to be next. So what's the deal? I reached Kia directly. A spokesperson confirmed there's a compatibility issue with the software update in cars with remote start, causing, quote, the activation of the burglar alarm when the remote start is used. Going on to say car owners with remote start will need to delay installing the upgrade while they work on addressing the issue and changing the software. I share that information with Brandon.
The fact that they're going after this problem right away, that came up after they've released this software patch is good.
He told me he wishes he knew before heading in for an appointment, but says he's hopeful he and others will be able to get the safety update soon.
I'll be looking forward to it in the coming weeks. I hope that the coming weeks don't turn into coming months.
Over 1.5 million people have been contacted to make an appointment for the upgrade. That's it for your morning consumer news. Let's check in with Derek in today's forecast.
All right, thanks so much for that, Sophia. Sure is a nice clear start here this morning, but it is rather chilly, though. In fact, our temperatures are currently at 23. Our wind chill is at 8 degrees in La Crosse when you factor in the north-northwest winds, just over 20 miles an hour. A little bit windy here in Eau Claire as well. Northwest winds at 12. Current temperatures at 16. However, it feels like 3 degrees with the wind chill. And in fact, we'll time out the wind chills by 8 o'clock. Still, we're going to be looking at wind chill factors in the single digits before warming up into the 20s by around 1 o'clock. Feel like temperatures at 5 p.m. into the upper 20s to low 30s, so it will feel warmer by that point. However, by tonight, our feel like temperatures will drop with wind chill factors by overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning into the teens and single digits again. So another morning here of some pretty cold air, and you're going to have to bundle up here as you head out the door tomorrow. 21 right now in Sparta. Temperatures in Winona are also at 21 degrees. Forecast highs today mainly into those low to mid 30s here this afternoon. We did have a little bit of light snow here move through portions of La Crosse County and down to the south. That has since exited the area well to the south following this cold front associated with this trough of low pressure. That is exiting the area. What's entering the area now is this area of high pressure building across the Dakotas towards the west. And that system, as it moves east, is going to help clear out the remaining cloud cover as we head throughout the rest of the morning hours here today. By 2 o'clock, mostly sunny skies, only a few clouds here well to the north. As we head into late this afternoon by 6 p.m., still looking at mainly clear skies. And as we head into tonight, mainly clear skies will continue across the area. But here's what I do want to show you here as we head into tomorrow. We're watching this trough of low pressure, our next system developing. Out ahead of it, there's going to be a warm front setting up here that could give us some good rain chances for tomorrow, and the same could be set into Friday. But as the system continues to develop, it may even spawn showers and thunderstorms, maybe even a chance of severe weather around here by Friday afternoon into Friday evening. So something we'll have to keep our eyes on. On the back side, this snow or the rain transitions to snow here Friday night into also early on Saturday morning. So we could be dealing a combination of rain showers, thunderstorms, and maybe even some snow showers here between Friday and Saturday before Saturday afternoon arrives. As high pressure moves in, that will help clear out the remaining clouds. A wide area of severe weather here is likely here for Friday across much of the southern and central United States, including here in the Midwest, where we're actually under a little bit of a risk here for severe weather, highlighted in green. Damaging winds, large hail, maybe an isolated tornado, but mainly focused down to the south where we have higher risks shaded there in yellow. So something we'll keep our eyes on. We are under that alert day here for Friday. We'll keep our eyes on that as we head throughout the next couple of days. Remember those snow chances for Friday night into Saturday. Cloudy skies Sunday and Monday. Highs into the 40s and 50s. Stay with us, though. We're back with much more news and weather still to come on News 8 Now this morning. We're taking a quick break with a look at what happened on this day in history for March 29th. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Blitz. Opening day in the majors might be a day away, but the high school baseball and softball seasons are in full swing. We had some action on the circle in La Crosse yesterday. Let's go to the Shelby softball fields. Cross Central facing off with last year's Cooley Conference champ GET. Redhawks up early, but here come the Riverhawks. Alyssa Brixton sends this pitch deep into left center. That's off the fence. Brixton is in with the leadoff double. Later in the inning, Ellie Buxton Laying down the bunt here, the throw to first in time for the out, but Brixton showing off the wheel. She's safe at home. This one's all tied up, but GET would respond. 2 runners on, and Helene DeJague, the dagger up the middle. The throw to home just a little offline. That means 2 runs come in to score. Big 5th inning for the Redhawks as they go on to win it 10-3. On the diamond, Brewers wrapping up spring training, taking on the Pirates. This is a good sign for the Crew. 4th inning, Luke Voigt demolishes this ball 114 miles an hour off the bat. It's 2-0 Brewers. Milwaukee also with high hopes for this guy. One of the newest Brewers going deep for the first time this spring. Jesse Winker, a no-doubter to right field, makes it 4-0 Crew. Brewers roll in their final spring training game 8-1. They'll be in Chicago Thursday when it all starts to count as Milwaukee begins a 3-game set against the rival Cubs. Let's head to Las Vegas. Badgers taking on North Texas in the NIT semifinal. The first half, Chucky Hepburn on fire. The sophomore starts the game 5 for 5 from downtown. Badgers take an 11-point lead. Let's fast forward to the second half now. Mean Green fighting back. This is going to cut the deficit to 7. It's 51-44, but on the other end, Connor Esigian splashes home the 3, and with 9 minutes to go, Badgers go up 8. It's 54-46. Remember that score because from then on, this one all North Texas. Reuben Jones ties it at 54 with less than 3 to go, and then with 2 minutes to play, Mean Green jump out in front. It's 56-54. Wisconsin on a 9-minute scoring drought. Last chance now for the Badgers, looking for the tie or win, but Wisconsin can't even get a shot off, and that's how the Badgers season comes to an end. A 13-point second half for Wisconsin and a heartbreaking finish in Vegas as North Texas gets the come-from-behind win, 56-54. That's going to do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
A rash of recent gun violence, including Monday's fatal school shooting in Tennessee, has some lawmakers calling for gun control again. President Joe Biden is calling on Congress to move ahead on the issue, but with a divided Congress, it appears unlikely any sort of changes are coming in the near future.
As Nashville mourns the loss of 3 children and 3 adults who were killed in Monday's school shooting, some lawmakers in Washington, D.C. are calling for action.
We must pass meaningful gun safety legislation and need to look at every possible way to do so. We must give families the peace of mind to send their kids to school without fearing for their lives.
Including the Nashville incident, there's been at least 130 mass shootings in the U.S. this year, according to data from the Gun Violence Archive.
We know that a ban on assault weapon sales can work. We know it from Connecticut. We know also that inaction won't work anymore for Americans.
President Joe Biden wants Congress to work on an assault weapon ban. However, Republicans are in charge of the House, and there's little to no support for weapon restrictions, which some say infringe on constitutional rights.
On the other side, all they want to do is take guns away from law-abiding citizens. Before they even know the facts, the first thing they talk about is taking guns away from law-abiding citizens. And that's not the answer, by the way.
While others in the GOP have a wait-and-see attitude.
With respect to any discussion of legislation, it's premature. There's an ongoing investigation, and I think we need to let the facts come out.
On Wednesday night, the city of Nashville is scheduled to hold a vigil to remember the victims of the Covenant school shooting. Firearms were the leading cause of death among children and adolescents in 2021 for the second year in a row. That's according to a CNN analysis of data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Firearms first surpassed motor vehicle crashes as the leading cause of death for children in 2020. In comparison, about 4,300 children died in car crashes in 2021. When the snow came and we shoveled, now it's starting to melt. Now Minnesotans are concerned about flooding, with snowbanks large enough to do just that if they melt too fast.
The closest Julie Johnson's come to having her Bayport home flood was a few years ago when river water submerged her backyard shed and nearly reached her basement.
When we purchased, we knew that it's a possibility, and so yeah, I mean, we watch it every spring.
Flood risk is higher than normal this year, and Bayport's public works director says there are 50 to 75 people in town likely to be affected.
We're always prepared every single year. We do see some flooding every single year.
We usually will have advance notice online. We can see when it's coming. And so if we think it's going to come in the basement, then we get everything out of there.
Helping Julie's peace of mind is the flood insurance she carries.
Many homeowners and renters as well don't realize that their policies don't always cover them for flood insurance and flood damage. Climate change is certainly impacting the types of storms that we're seeing here in Minnesota.
In fact, the state says you're 27 times more likely to have a flood than a fire during a 30-year mortgage. And 1 inch of floodwater can cause $25,000 in damage.
We're one of the higher insurance usage cities in the state of Minnesota.
It is what it is, so I guess we're not too anxious about it because we have to deal with whatever it brings.
Spring flooding typically peaks in April, which starts in just a few days. Keep this in mind. New insurance policies can take 30 days to take effect, so now may be the time to buy the coverage you want. Another Minnesota town that is prepping for possible flooding as the snow begins to melt is Stillwater. Over the next 3 days, 250 volunteers will fill 50,000 sandbags. Even volunteers from neighboring towns feel the need to help. Sean Sanders is Stillwater's Director of Public Works. Even though there's still ice on the St. Croix River, he says they're ready for the worst, thanks to the forecast's help.
Ideally, it'd be like this for the next 2 months, you know. Warm in the day, cool at night, slows the runoff, but eventually the weather is going to get warmer and the runoff's going to be coming at a quicker pace.
The last time the city had to prepare this much for flooding was in 2019. Minnesota's Attorney General is opening the state's lawsuit against a major e-cigarette maker. Keith Ellison says the state is seeking more than $100 million in damages from Juul Labs. The state's lawsuit filed in 2019 argues the company unlawfully targeted young people with vaping products. Juul has already settled thousands of lawsuits nationwide, including 39 with other states. It was hard to get around Minnesota's state capitol Tuesday as advocates and people of all abilities flooded the halls to make their voices heard. They're asking the legislature to invest in disability support services, a critical industry they say is on the brink. Tom Gillespie is CEO of Living Well Disability Services. He says staffing is crisis because workers are unpaid, but the legislature has the power to fix it.
I've been in the industry for 20 years. I don't think we've had as critical a session as this one in my time, certainly. And I'm hearing that from all of our colleagues as well. We're desperate.
The state funds services through a reimbursement process, and advocates say raising rates could make big impact on boosting wages and keeping people from leaving. Wisconsin State Representatives celebrated the installation of a universal changing station at the state capitol. Lawmakers say the station helps make the building more accessible to people with disabilities. The station serves as an adult-sized changing table so people can have easier access to what they need. Legislators say the table also creates a home base. Now that people know it exists, they should feel free to explore downtown Madison.
The Wisconsin State Capitol is the people's house. The people's house must be accessible for all people. The lack of a universal changing station in the state capitol has meant students were unable to join their class to visit, families were unable to visit, and the people's house has not been accessible to everybody.
Governor Tony Evers' 2023 through 2025 budget includes creating an income and franchise tax credit for small businesses to install universal changing tables. Abortion rights are a key fight in this year's state Supreme Court race, and money is pouring in for the more liberal candidate. Reports filed show that Milwaukee County Circuit Judge Janet Protasiewicz raised nearly $12.4 million between February 7th and March 20th. Her conservative opponent, former Supreme Court Justice Dan Kelly, raised $2.2 million over the same period. The winner will determine majority control for at least the next 2 years. With the election being less than 1 week away, Wisconsin voters are still able to vote early in person this week. Make sure you bring a photo ID with you and a proof of residence if you're registering. You can see if you are registered at myvotewisconsin.gov. La Crosse's City Hall's early voting hours are 8 to 4 the next 2 days and 8 to 5 on Friday. If you're not in La Crosse, you can contact your city or town clerk for early voting hours. Otherwise, you'll head to your polling place next Tuesday for Election Day. Wisconsin's governor is continued his budget proposal tour in Eau Claire to promote the clean energy workforce. Governor Evers toured Eau Claire's Cortex Corporation facility, which focuses on making environmentally friendly products with recycled materials. Cortex is part of a voluntary state DNR program where companies commit to following environmentally sustainable goals. Evers says the state budget should continue to reward companies like Cortex because the companies are creating a clean energy future.
We have to have a future for our kids where, instead of continuing to consume things, we can recycle them as often as we can. And so this is a perfect opportunity for us to showcase what clean energy and a clean environment looks like.
Evers is also touring UW-Stevens Point Forestry Center to promote his budget's proposed investment into forestry workforce development.
Well, we're starting to see those leftover clouds that we had overnight here begin to clear out. And we also had a little bit of some light snow here that moved through portions of the area overnight. That has since cleared out. That was all associated with that front here that we've been mentioning here the last couple of days that moved through overnight. Now, in the wake of that front, it's much colder and chillier. As a matter of fact, it feels like it's currently into the single digits when you factor in those current wind chill readings. 36 degrees for the high today, mostly sunny, much colder, a little bit chilly as well. Northwest winds 10 to 20 miles an hour for tonight. We're going to be looking at 12 degrees, partly cloudy and very cold. Light and variable winds here as well. So for your zone forecast today, we're looking at highs in the mid-30s, La Crosse County 36 in La Crosse, 35 today in Shelby. Further south we go, 37 today will be the temperature in Soldiers Grove, 35 in Stoddard this afternoon. Meanwhile, back to the north, Winona, you're looking at 33 for your high, 33 in Warrens today as well, 32 in Alma Center, highs into the upper 20s to low 30s in the Chippewa Valley. In fact, Eau Claire today, only looking at 30 degrees this afternoon. So for your DriveCast, everything is looking clear and sunny, a little on the cool side though as we head into the lunch hour as well. Same could really be said as we head into the evening commute. Sky is still looking sunny and a little bit cool out there. We'll have a final check on your full weather forecast after the break, but also coming up in our Buzz Report, movies and viral videos that everyone's commenting on. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, so there's a beautiful start there behind me from City Cam 8, maybe just a few clouds, but overall it's very chilly. Temperatures are at 23, but look at the wind chill though. The feel like of 8 when you factor in the wind speeds out of the north-northwest at 21 miles an hour. So we can all thank the pretty windy conditions for helping us with those wind chills. 16 degrees is our current temperature in Eau Claire now. Northwest winds at 12. Look at the feel like here of 3 degrees when you factor in current wind chills. And these wind chills that we're seeing now, which are into the single digits, will continue as we head into 8 o'clock this morning. Now by 1 o'clock, we can expect temperatures, feel like temperatures to warm up into the teens and 20s. 5 o'clock, a little bit warmer there, upper 20s to low 30s. We're going to start to see these feel like temperatures drop again as we head into tonight. And look what happens here by tomorrow morning. Yeah, it's going to be another cold start. So we're going to be looking at teens and single digits here yet again as you head out the door tomorrow morning. Current air temperatures into the teens and 20s, that is, across much of the viewing area. The forecast highs today mainly into those low to mid 30s here come this afternoon. So we had a little bit of some of that light snow move through. The cloudy skies still kind of linger well to the south in association with this trough of low pressure and cold front here, which did bring us some of that snow here to work with. Now here's what's coming next. It's an area of high pressure building towards the west around the northern United States, around the Dakotas. That system is moving east. That's going to give us plenty of sunshine here to work with today. We'll be at 34 degrees and plenty of sun, as a matter of fact, by 4 o'clock this afternoon. But I do want to take you here into the long range. Here's what's coming next. We have this trough of low pressure developing to our west. You can see the warm fronts associated with it here into tomorrow. That could give us some rain to work with, a little bit of snow here for our friends up towards northern Wisconsin and Minnesota, though. That rain will continue into Friday, but as the system moves east, it's going to gain steam here, and we could be looking at a chance of seeing some showers, but also thunderstorms thunderstorms as we head into Friday afternoon into the evening. Now, once this exits the area on the backside, cold air kind of filters in, wraps around. That could change the rain to snow for Friday night and also into early Saturday morning there, as you can see. So something that we'll be monitoring here over the coming days. So changes of weather here are definitely on the way before high pressure moves in to help give us some quieter weather by Saturday afternoon. A very large risk of severe weather associated with the storm system moving through. A lot of people are going to be under this level 3 enhanced risk. Meanwhile, here in the Cooley region, we're under a little bit of a risk ourselves. A level 1 marginal risk here for La Crosse. Further south into our southern communities, a level 2 slight risk, damaging winds, hail, maybe even a few tornadoes during the afternoon and during the evening for Friday. So something to keep our eyes on here. We'll keep you updated over the next couple of days here at News 8. But other than that, as we head into Sunday, after all that messy weather gets out of here, lingering clouds here for Sunday into Monday. Next best chance of rain possible into Tuesday and Wednesday of next week.
In our Morning Buzz report, Priyanka Chopra Jonas explains why she left Bollywood for Hollywood. On a podcast, she said people were not casting her and she felt like she was being pushed into a corner of the industry. The Matrix Resurrection star had a thrilling career as a Bollywood actor in India before she came to the U.S., but says at the time she was tired of the politics and needed a break. She later started pursuing roles in Hollywood and landed a starring role in Quantico and continued to have a successful career in Hollywood.
Sure, you might hold on to that for me? Thanks. That is a bomb. I have just armed it. Don't move. You move, the bomb detonates. If I hear any alarms or sirens, I detonate the bomb, understand? Good. I'll be right back.
Kiefer Sutherland marks his return to television screens in a new thriller, unlike his previous works, 24 and Designated Survivor. The threat isn't a terrorist bomb or political attack. Instead, it's all about corporate espionage. Rabbit Hole is now streaming on Paramount+.
Branch! How come you never told me? You had a secret brother!
Correction. Used to be my brother. My brothers walked out on me and never came back.
Branch, we're out of sync. We've gone from boys to men, and now there's only one direction for us to go. The back streets.
Here's your first look at Trolls band together as Anna Kendrick's Poppy and Justin Timberlake's Branch attempt to reunite his brothers as their old band, Brozone. The third Trolls movie bops into theaters November 17th. The video of a base runner fooling a catcher has gone viral. Because the runner used the oldest trick in the book, Jada made it to home plate using the technique some use to steal food off a plate, the same ruse Marty used to sucker punch Biff, and that Arnold deployed to escape in Last Action Hero. Even Jada was amazed it worked.
I really had no idea what to do. I was really just goofing around because I thought I was going to be out.
Carthage softball won the game 7-5, and Jada won bragging rights. You ever play baseball?
No, I couldn't get into it. I'm not that good. I always miss when I swing. So.
I played softball all throughout high school, so cool. I enjoyed that video.
Nice.
Before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8.
Happy 8 weeks to Mila Jo. She loves being talked to, and of course she likes to sleep. Happy birthday, Mila Jo.
Happy birthday. She's our only one today. If you know a special someone turning 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88 years old soon, we'd love to feature them.
That's right. Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button under the Home tab on our website.
Stay with us. We have everything you need to know today in 5 minutes or less. Your Morning News Now is up next. The FDA says they have a plan in place to make sure the supply of baby formula doesn't change. The agency shared key steps they say will increase the stability of the infant formula market. It includes making sure the industry can identify risks to the supply chain and develop plans to lessen the harshness of disruptions. It will also expand and improve training for investigators who inspect manufacturers. A health clinic is reopening its doors in Norwalk. Scenic Bluffs Community Health Center is now taking patients in newly renovated rooms with new equipment. Scenic Bluffs used roughly $600,000 in ARPA funds to renovate. The center's leaders say the update was much needed. The CEO says staying up to date is important to help them care for a small community where getting health care can be challenging.
Our job is to make sure that we're reducing health disparities in all communities. Scenic Bluffs is charged with making sure that we create access for folks that may have transportation challenges, may have income challenges. We serve all patients regardless of their ability to pay.
Scenic Bluffs will be able to help reduce the gap with a new food pantry. They're partnering up with Coulee Cap to open that pantry in the coming months. A former UWL professor is leaving a huge impact on lacrosse artists even after his passing. Ronald Berman was a regular donor to the Lacrosse Community Foundation before he died in January. He left the organization a gift of $3.2 million to fund art scholarships for area students. His efforts advance education while he was alive, and they'll leave his legacy even more valuable than $3.2 million.
When you combine Ron's bequest with the gifts that he gave during his lifetime, we will receive, and the whole community will receive actually, almost $4 million as a result of Ron and Valerie's generosity.
Berman's donation will go to 4 funds, one of which will support the Coulee Region Alliance for the Visual Arts. Altogether, the 4 funds will distribute over $180,000 each year. Toma Health and Versity Blood Center need your help. Recent weather conditions have been a barrier to blood supply, forcing Versity to cancel blood drives and appointments. To meet the need, they are hosting a 2-day blood drive today and Thursday. To donate, you need to be at least 17 years old, have a photo ID, weigh over 110 pounds, and be in good health. 16-year-olds can donate with a parent's permission. If you'd like to donate, we have more information on news8000.com.
And as you head out the door this morning, temperatures are into the low 20s through at least 9 o'clock this morning with plenty of sun. We'll be looking at mainly clear conditions really throughout the day today as well, with temperatures warming up into the 30s between around 3 to 5 p.m. this afternoon. But overall, a much colder day, even though we'll be pretty similar to yesterday by seeing sunshine. Now for tomorrow and Friday, watch out for some showers and thunderstorms, especially for Friday where we do have that alert day in place for the possibility of seeing some strong and severe storms. Friday night into Saturday, early Saturday that is, watching out for a chance of snow. Cloudy skies linger into Sunday and Monday.
I'm going to have to get my son today before this weekend where
That's
I probably
right.
won't be seeing it, but I could use a good thunderstorm.
Yeah, I mean, you know, hey, we're getting into spring. It's perfect sleeping weather.
Thanks, Derek.
Yeah.
And thank you for watching News 8 Now. Don't forget to keep up with the news of the day on news8000.com. We will have the latest updates to today's top stories on News 8 Now at noon. Have a great day, and thank you for watching News 8.